and it's been a while since I did one of these, and it's been so long that it's gotten so out of hand that I don't know what to do. I could literally build a fort out of movies. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I put this on to blend into my shirt. Huh? What do you think? All right, maybe we'll see how that looks. Hopefully it's not on the terrible setting. We'll see. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and it's been a while since we did a Found in the Wild. Like what I did there? I've done it before. Anyway, to make a long story short, it's been a while. I said that. Pretty much, I've got too much stuff to show, so we're just going to rapid fire some of the stuff. First couple of items I got from Half Price Books. If you've never seen Battle Royale, it's basically where the Hunger Games author got the idea for the Hunger Games. They watched this movie and was like, I bet I could make that PG-13 and milk it for all it's worth. But Battle Royale, have you seen it? They've got it on Blu-ray. I think the 4K is actually coming. When it gets my better judgment and spent $30 for a movie that I could have got the 4K for the same price, but this is an 88 Films release, and I've been wanting an 88 Films release just for shits and giggles, just to see what the hubbub's all about, because I know a lot of the horror collectors out there, when they can't afford certain releases of certain movies, there's always 88 Films, which seems to be cheaper than most. But in this case, it was $30, which I gladly paid. And it has the original artwork underneath the sleeve, which I absolutely love. And then this movie has an excellent remake starring Elijah Wood that came out back in 2012. So if you've never seen either one of those, both of them are classics in their own right, so make sure you check those out. Some of you might know that I used to work at Blockbuster, and back when I worked at Blockbuster, they had these ghost house pictures, and there were several different titles, different directors, kind of like if you remember the After Dark Horror Fest that came to theaters. There were several movies that were too spooky for theaters, but they were going to play them in the theaters anyway. Well, this was sort of like that, but this one is about some people that rob a bank and then they hide out in the subway tunnels. Turns out there is a My Bloody Valentine-esque guy down there with a pickaxe, kills them off one by one. It's your classic slasher movie, made in the early 2000s, and I'm pretty sure it's British. So on the way past Half Price Books, there was a Best Buy, and we all know what's going on with Best Buy, so I just happened in to see if there was any steel books, and there was. It was The Blob. It was 4K. I had to have it, so I bought it. I can't remember what I paid for it. I'm pretty sure it was on sale, so it may have been under $20. I do remember I picked up one for my sales manager as well. Did I mention that I'd be selling stuff? I sold this today. That's why I was late coming home. I wasn't even going to make this video, but I figured it's been so long, got to get this video made. I had this guy come in and get this car, and I didn't even have to do anything. As I do, I stopped over at Arcade Legacy, and he happened to have Spawn, the series, on Steelbook DVD, because I don't know if it exists on Blu-ray, but that doesn't matter. It's a cartoon. Like, you really going to tell me the cartoons look better in Blu-ray or 4K? Horse shit. Okay, it's hand-drawn animation. You can't fix the pixels in hand-drawn animation. And it's got this on the back. And if you've never seen Spawn, I've never actually watched all the way through them. I've seen most of the first season. But I sometimes, I'm ADD, I trail off. I never really read the comics. I enjoyed using my imagination to play with the action figures. And then in the 90s, we've got the movie with John Leguizamo, Michael Jaleel White. And it was half-assed. They fucked it up with the cape. It didn't have to be a CGI cape, but whatever. They good enough for the time. Actually, it wasn't really that. I got a love-hate relationship with the Spawn movie, y'all. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on because we ain't got that kind of time. So recently I had my mom watch the Coen brothers version of True Grit because she had never seen it before. And I just happened to pick up the John Wayne version of True Grit, which I had on DVD, but I don't know where that is, but it doesn't matter anymore because I got it for $5. This movie could have been great. It could have been grand. It could have been wonderful. But no, Rob Zombie is a selfish prick, and he doesn't want to pay somebody to write him some motherfucking dialogue. So I got motherfucking cocksucking 31 motherfuckers. You got a fucking problem with it, dickweed? Anyway, I'm sorry. In the last video I made when I did that joke, I was going off the rails with all the 7 dirty words you can't say on TV, but you can say them in a Rob Zombie movie. 31. It's got such an incredible concept. It's got such an incredible villain in Doomhead. And there's a little midget Hitler running around that kind of gives me the creeps a little bit. But all of these characters are just god-awful. And then the dialogue that comes out of people's mouth in this movie makes me want to find Rob Zombie and fucking shave all of his hair off. You feel me? Super Troopers 2, which I haven't seen since the theater, and I don't remember anything other than the fact that there were Mounties in it or something like that. But something about smuggling syrup. Anyway, don't worry about that. Worry about the fact that, one of these days I might watch that. One of these days I might start reviewing movies again. I don't know. I've been busy all the time. There's a pile of games over here. He had 2 particular movies, which I should probably save these for closer to last. But Split Second with Rutger Hauer. Who remembers Split Second with Rutger Hauer? They've got the prototype Cenobite costume that they threw in the trash or donated to Goodwill, and somebody put it together, and they flooded the city to film one of the most underrated sci-fi action thrillers of all time that nobody ain't never heard of except for me, and I'm the only one that owns it. So Split Second, if you ever heard of it, let me know in the comments section down below, and I'll call you a liar. Here's another one that a lot of people don't even know what it is. They've never heard of it. They've never seen it. And it's just a shame because it took me so long to get this movie. I should have saved this for its own fucking video, as a matter of fact. It definitely owes this. I owes this movie a movie review, people. Because if you know Kevin Smith, you know he did Clerks, he did Chasing Amy, then he did Mallrats, and then he did this, then he did that, and then he kind of disappeared, fell off the map for a little bit, and then he came out with a little movie called Red State when I worked at Blockbuster. And this is probably, aside from Mallrats, my favorite Kevin Smith movie. And it's not funny. I mean, there's a part you might chuckle. But other than that, it's not funny in the slightest bit. It's not necessarily a horror movie. This is like if the Westboro Baptist Church made a movie. And that's all I really want to say about it, because I want you to have to go and spend, I don't know. Luckily, I got it for $40, but it was over $100 there for quite a while. Over $100 for this damn thing. And then the funniest thing is, I got this and it played in my regular Blu-ray player, and I was under the impression that it was region B or region locked in some way or the other. So I let my sales manager borrow it because he'd never heard of it. He's a big Kevin Smith fan. And it wouldn't play in his player, so he went ahead and bought it digitally. And then for some reason, the digital copy wouldn't play, so he still didn't get to see it. But luckily, I got to see it. And maybe you'll get to see it. But seek this out. If anything in this pile of stuff I show you today, you seek out, let it be Red State, because it is one of the most underrated movies that is in desperate need of, well, it doesn't necessarily need a 4K release, but it'd be nice if it got a wide release so that other people can enjoy it, such as I do. Anyway, stuff from the arcade legacy, everybody. Grand Theft Auto, the definitive trilogy edition, whatever it's what it's called. It's got all 3 of the original Grand Theft Auto games. And if you don't know about me, I graduated high school senior right around when the 3rd one came out, and then so on and so forth throughout history. Was a devoted fan of the Grand Theft Auto series, all the way from Grand Theft Auto 4, Ballad of Gay Tony, Lost in the Damned, and then Grand Theft Auto 5 on every console that I've had so far. But I've only played a little bit of this because I got certain people in the house. I ain't got no place set up to where I can play my stuffs. But it looks like they slightly fixed some of the weird thing was first released. But really, I can't wait to play Vice City. It's so long since I played. I've always gone back and played Andreas, and then every we'll go back and play a couple missions of the first game. It's just for so long since I played Vice, and it's just so hard to rank these. Anyway, don't worry, everybody. Worry about the fact that we're moving on.